Dear friends in Hong Kong, good morning. My name is Shireen and I come from the Shepherd's Field. The Shepherd's Field is the one place that the shepherds were told the good news about baby Jesus, and they walked to Bethlehem to see baby Jesus. It's called Beit Zahur, and that means the house of magic. I come from that little city that I really love. I'm here now at the Bethlehem Bible College, and I greet you in the name of Jesus. My name is Shireen again, and I have 4 lovely children who are actually living at the Shepherd's Field with my husband as well. Marcel, Mirun, Maria, and Ryan. I would like to share with you a little bit about the Shepherd Society. The Shepherd Society is the social arm of the Bethlehem Bible College. The Shepherd Society started in 1996. Next year it will be 30 years, and it started as a result of a great need. We, as a Bible college teaching the Bible, it was an immediate urge for us to also be with the community. So we started the Shepherd Society. The Shepherd Society is the social arm of the Bethlehem Bible College. And we started in the first Intifada, the second Intifada. We were there for people, and we were there to support the basic needs that people wanted. What is the basic need that people wanted? They needed food, and they needed medicine and surgeries and so on. And now Shepherd Society is still doing the same, but actually developed much, much more. For 30 years, definitely. So now we also not only work with humanitarian, but we also take developmental projects. You know why? Because we believe that people should work, people should be encouraged, and they should be paid for, but when they actually do the work, rather than only wait for people to give them money. But also, we need to be realistic. There are people who are sick. There are people who cannot work. So we're also there for them. So this is how the Shepherd Society started. So what do we do these days? The Shepherd Society has been, I would say, a beacon of hope for the community. When I say the community, I mean the Palestinian community. And my dear friends, the Palestinian community has faced so much. It has faced so many wars. It has faced so much of what's called genocide. And I'm so sorry to tell you, even if I want to make things look nice and beautiful, it's not. Because the situation, especially in the West Bank and in Gaza, has been a nightmare for many people. Let me start off telling you what do we do as Shepherd Society in the West Bank, and then we move to Gaza. So the Shepherd Society in the West Bank, as I mentioned before, tries to help people with actually food packages, with actually medical care. When I say medical care, it could be medicine, it could be surgeries, it could be also what's called social insurance or health insurance. These are the 3 things we try to provide. But in addition to that, only 2 years back, and when I say 2 years back, it's since the war took place in Palestine. And 2 years back, you know, we live in a very beautiful city called Bethlehem. Bible College is in Bethlehem. And as you all know, Bethlehem is one of the touristic area here in Palestine. If you as a tourist would like to come here, you want to see Bethlehem, you want to see Jerusalem, and you want to see Nazareth. So we live in a very touristic place. But sadly, for the last 2 years, there were no tourists. Up to this day, we're in November, no tourists. And that's really sad. The city of Bethlehem became what's called a ghost city, which is really sad. So what did we do as Shepherd Society? We're here to be the beam of hope. We're here to support the community in general and the Christian community. According to Ministry of Tourism, 40% are unemployed in Bethlehem district, which is a very high number. If you look to any civilized country, if it's only 6% unemployment, they panic. So imagine 40%. So here we are as Shepherd Society, we decided to start a program called Job Creation. By Job Creation, we only started with 30 people. Job creation, we put them in different places in the community, whether churches, whether special needs centers, whether elderly centers and so on, just to take their daily pocket money because they don't have a job. They could not go to Jerusalem to work. There are no tourists coming. So we started this initiative for only 3 months. So every month we gave a pocket money. When that project finished, now needless to mention, we thought this war will finish in few days, few months, but it took years, over 2 years. So we went on and on and on. Up to this day, we hired over 400 people. I mean, not hire as a word hire, but we gave pocket money to people who were installed in different organizations. And that is a huge work for the Shepherd Society. Besides that, we work also into the psychosocial support for the people. Why do I say psychosocial? Because people lost it. Every single person who lives in Palestine has an issue to accept what is happening to the Palestinian people because of the, I would say, the savage attacks and the killing that has been taking place. If you go around Bethlehem, and I really urge you to do one day, you will find, because of the war, over 600 gates installed. We are living in a big prison. And that itself is an alarm for many, because many people want to leave the country. And that is sad. Because you know what, my dear friends? One day when you come to Palestine or Bethlehem, I don't want you to only enjoy what's called a holy stone. I want you to enjoy the living stones, meaning I don't want you to come to the city and to the Nativity Church and then turned into a museum. I want it to be a church. I want you to meet the people in their church and so on. So that's why we encourage people through also the psychosocial support program that we trained 48 people we trained to do children and women program. So far, we're doing very, very well. And only recently, we finished 10 sessions of actually being into the community. Imagine every 2 are doing sessions. And also, we have much more to go, but we will not give up. Besides that, we never stopped also supporting Gaza. Gaza is actually now the heart, called the burning, the aching, the mourning heart of Palestine. There are so many innocent children killed for no reason. Over 65,000 people killed, and out of those, over 20,000, even much, much more killed, and many people are not found yet. Many people are taken into prison, and there are a lot of massive graveyards for so many people that don't know families. It's very sad. How can we stop actually thinking or supporting the community in Gaza? So we decided that we start with the basic needs. If you work according to Maslow, for example, you know, Maslow has a pyramid. A Maslow pyramid says the basic need, which is food. So we worked so hard since day one to do food for Gaza, especially the church. We work through the church, the St. Porphyrios Church, and then the church gives the surroundings. I wish I can say we helped Gaza, all of Gaza, but the truth is not. We are a drop of water in a big ocean. We just helped a small little community, the Christian community and its surrounding. It's not enough, but this is what we were able to do. And besides that, we also want Gaza to still have Christians in it. We don't want Christians to be forced to leave Gaza. So we did the basic needs, which is food, but also we thought of something that is very important, because when people ask us about hope and on peace, it becomes a colonized word for us. You know why? Because we cannot even see peace. There is no hope in so many situations. We try to look, we try to find hope, you know, with even a slight chance to find it. So we also decided to start educational and afternoon program, we call it, just a recreational program for the children. The children have had no schools for 2 years. So we started with the basic subjects. We do Arabic, English, and math and science, basics, just for the children to see that it's going to go to school, to learn these things, to know how to write, to know how to read, and so on. Because if we want to achieve peace, then we have to have normal kids that actually believe in peace. And also, besides that, many of these children, if 99% of them are traumatized, if not all of them traumatized, and that itself would actually hinder what's called peace process. We want to have a generation full of enthusiasm, full of courage, not a generation that becomes a terrorist or whatsoever because of all these, stress and pressure that they go through. And besides that, not only subjects we taught, we started doing games, crafts, dances, and so on within the church premises, and many of the kids come into the church and play and so on with these kids. It's lovely. We want to continue to do that. Besides that, in Gaza, we also provided a year and a half ago a very little clinic. When I say clinic, it's actually in a tent. We actually built the clinic. We have a doctor, an assistant doctor, and a nurse. 3 of them are actually working in the clinic. Unfortunately, before the ceasefire, the last 3 months we had no medicine. Imagine, my dear friends, in a city populated with over 2.2 million people with no medicine coming into the city. Do you know how many people are sick? Do you know how many people are deprived from basic needs? So our clinic continued to just serve the people, blood pressure, talk to people, because people wanted people to talk to them. Nobody's talking to them anymore. God's willing, with the ceasefire now, we're trying to purchase medicine, but yet medicine is not coming into Gaza. But we continue to have this clinic. And of course, we're also in cooperation with the hospital in Gaza, but all the hospitals are mostly destroyed, and they also have to be rebuilt again. Besides that, in Gaza, we try to do cases. For example, I want to urge you now, because we have 2 main things that we want to do for Christmas. We want to do it for Christmas before winter time, before it starts raining. One, which is we call it, the Christmas outfit, where we're trying to provide 1 shoe and a training for the children age 0 to 16. That's what we're aiming to do before Christmas time. But also, our Christmas campaign this year is purely medical, but for a specific medication, which is the prosthetic and orthotics, because many children in Gaza and adults lost body parts, limbs, either a hand, a leg, and so on. Imagine over 2,000 children with no hand or no arm or no leg and so on, who we are supporting is a hospital. And they have a small new technique, not so expensive, but very professional, that they will actually start making body parts, sending it to Gaza and receiving it to our clinics, to the hospital clinics in Gaza, to be installed for these children. Because the truth is, we all know, that many of these kids cannot leave Gaza. So we want to go. We want to come to them, to serve them. That's what we're doing. So I urge you, if you're interested, please, that would be something that you want to do for Christmas. It would be very, very helpful for both. At least, take yourself as one who actually wants to give this Christmas. You want to actually also support others than only thinking of ourselves, which is very important. Many people ask the question, what are the obstacles that we come through because of the situation and sending humanitarian aid to Gaza? I want to make something clear. If you believe in a ministry, then you give and then you pray. But if you don't believe in a ministry, then don't give. And I tell so many of our friends at Shepherd Society, come and see for yourself. Ask questions, because if you believe in the ministry of the Shepherd Society, then you give abundantly. You give with no restrictions. But I also want to assure you that everything we do, because many people ask, how do you bring money into Gaza? We have to bring money into Gaza only through the church. We cannot give any other organizations besides the church, because we cannot guarantee who does the money go to. So we have to be a bit careful how to transfer money to Gaza. So we have the bishop and the bishop blessing, and we do it through the church. We have an office in Gaza. We have over 10 staff in Gaza that are our eyes and our feet in Gaza. But there are challenges and there are obstacles. One, which is cash money. Sometimes we have hard time getting cash into Gaza. 2 is actually the situation. When they said ceasefire October 10th, we were thrilled, but at the same time we're a bit cautious, because we didn't know if it's true or not. We couldn't even celebrate well. After less than a week in Gaza, Gaza was bombed again. Since the ceasefire, over 243 people killed. What does that mean? That means, it is a challenge for us. We want to continue to serve, but then we have all these restrictions. The restrictions of actually bringing things into Gaza. We have been buying from Gaza. We cannot actually bring big containers. We're not a big organization. We're very small. We couldn't bring containers into Gaza. And even those who tried to bring containers into Gaza, it was on the borders for many months, and many things got spoiled. So unfortunately, we buy things from Gaza. Our challenge is that the item that we buy, instead of costing an X $1, it costs us $10, $20, but we still buy. Can you imagine? We still buy because we want to assure that these kids receive something. Besides that, medical terms, when I say medicine is not yet coming into Gaza. That's also a challenge for our clinic. And many other things, even people, like we would like to go to Gaza. We have 48 specialized that actually got the training for trauma, but cannot go to Gaza. We're trying to do things through the Zoom meeting, or do it actually recording it and then showing it to Gaza. This is what we have been doing. So there are so many challenges. I mean, I cannot even stop naming, but all I can say, God taught us that despite of the obstacles and the challenges, that Jesus himself was with those who are actually mourning and who were marginalized, and he continues to struggle and battle for them. And this is what we try to do as much as we can. My dear friends in Hong Kong, it is a cry for each one of you. A cry not to support the Palestinians only, a cry to support humanity. If you look at things from a human side, I even put the Bible aside. As a human, do you accept such things to happen to your own family and your own children? If you accept that, then I have a problem with your God and my God. My God and your God is the God who stands with the poor, is the God who stands with the marginalized, is the God who mourns with those who are mourning. It's not a God who actually stands way high in a kingdom way, in a very big castle. No, that's not my God. That's not my Jesus. And I hope it's not your God and not your Jesus. All I want you to do is think and ask, why is this happening? I need to know more. It's happening for a reason. What is the reason? Don't close your heart. Don't close your ears and eyes to see. No, open them and ask, Lord, how can I be part of actually making peace? To be part in making peace, you have to have justice. If there is no justice, there is no peace. So I leave you with a message of peace, a message of love from the city of Bethlehem, a message of cry to you to actually hear and listen and then act. May the Lord of peace bless each one of you. Thank you.